Today we're talking to Nicci Sawyer. She is a graduate of Paws in Prison, and my name's Diane Baines. I sit on the board of Friends of Paws in Prison, the nonprofit that funds Paws in Prison. So today, Nicci's just going to share some of her experiences about the program and her life, and we're going to go from there. How's it going today, Nicci?
It's going great, going great. Just it's been a great day. It's been pretty outside all day and think we're fixing to get a thunderstorm, but it's going to be just great.
So tell me, how did your journey to Paws in Prison start?
Well, I would love to tell you that I just had this horrible childhood and everything was just so wrong and I ended up in the penitentiary, but that's not the case in my in my life. I grew up in a small town in the Panhandle of Texas, Dumas. Not many people know where that's at. It's above Amarillo. And I had a great childhood. I had parents that loved me. I had siblings that adored me. And my life kind of went astray about the time I was 15 years old. And I lost my sister to cancer. And whether it was a life cycle that wasn't completed, I don't know. I can't tell you the exact moment that a lot of my issues started, but I can tell you it was around that age. And they just spiraled kind of out of control from there. I didn't let anybody get close to me. If I felt you were going to get close to me, I pushed you away. And of course, I fell into the vicious cycle of addiction by the age of 18. And my life kind of spiraled from there, spiraled enough that I lost custody of my kids, that I lost the trust of my family. I have a brother I still haven't spoken to since probably almost 20 years. Um, I lost faith in myself, and therefore I ran the best way I could, which was by numbing myself with a physical addiction to methamphetamines. Um, this ended me up in the not so good place, and obviously God said that He wasn't done with me yet, and sent me to prison. And that is where I, through word of mouth and people talking about this unit that has dogs and you get to train them. And I thought, well, I like dogs. Who doesn't like dogs? Right. But it wasn't that easy to get there. I had kind of a journey. I ended up in Patriot Paws first. And although it is a great program and a very strict program, I didn't see me getting the skills I would need to stay out of prison through it. So I left the Patriot Paws program and went to a faith-based dorm and found what I needed. And then lo and behold, a week after I graduated, I got pulled to Lockhart. And that's where the Paws in Prison program was. So, and that was right during or the heat of COVID. So everything was so different back then.
So, do you feel like it was divine intervention?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel that if I hadn't corrected some of the things that I needed, some maturity wise and in my faith, I think I would have stayed where I was at and God would not have moved me around, but He knew what I needed. So I did not just move into the Paws in Prison program. Obviously, it's a prison program that you have to be interviewed for, but I ended up next door to it. So I got to see the dogs through the window. And I can remember looking through the window and being like, I just got to get over there. Those aren't just everyday dogs. Those are something's happening over there. And so it was about a month later that I joined the Paws in Prison program through interviewing. And well, it from day one just started to change my life a little bit.
Okay, so you get into the dog dorm, as we refer to it, and you were paroled at that time, or you switched over to another program? What happened?
No, so I get into the dog dorm and I've been denied parole a few times now. I mean, even through the Patriot Pulse program, still denied parole. Got into the faith-based program, still denied parole. Landed at the Lockhart unit from the Riverside unit in Gatesville. which is a very tough unit, no air conditioning. They still have what they call, excuse my language, host squad, which is field squad, and worked my way through that also, and it landed at Lockhart to air conditioning and this unit that's offering these things that I really wanted. So I end up in the dog program, and I meet the mentors, Vicky and Micah and Kendra and Lisa at the time. And like I said, this is still during COVID, so everything's very different. The volunteers weren't allowed in. I hadn't met Miss Laria yet. Um, Everything had been through just correspondence, right? They were still trying to run the program, but with very big limitations. Our classes were even outside on the fence line. And so actually meeting the volunteers and the director at the time, it just wasn't a possibility because of all the restrictions because of COVID. But the program was being ran and taken care of by the ladies inside. And it was pretty amazing to see the leadership and such that the roles they were taking on. And I can remember sitting and watching and just knowing that one day I wanted that to be me. I didn't know when, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I wanted to be that person again that somebody would look up to and trust, and be a really good dog trainer above all, but that somebody could look to and go, I believe every word you just said without questioning you, right? And so I started striving for that from day one. I got out there and I worked the program, and it is a great educational program that starts you off from freshman, and you build up to your senior dog trainers. And eventually, about 6 months into it, and prior again to all the volunteers being able to come back in, I became a mentor in the program. Um, I knew what I wanted. I knew who I wanted to be, which was who God had brought me to be through the faith-based dorm. And I wanted to be a leader and somebody that could guide people. That way they could get out and do better.
And so before your 15-year-old spiral that eventually led you to Paws in Prison, had you ever felt that feeling of being a leader? Had you had any experiences in your life, leadership positions, if you will?
I I feel I had some. I was an assistant manager at a Taco Bell when I was very young,
Okay.
but I never could hold that position. I always did something or messed up somehow, and I have a embedded, whether it's through childhood or through my sister passing or my brother passing later on, a fear of abandonment. And so I would rather please you than make you mad and you leave. And that doesn't work in a leadership role. You need somebody who's solid in their foundation and who doesn't waver. And I was a waverer back then. I went with whatever people needed me to be or whoever you wanted me to be, and had no idea who I was.
So, what did Paws in Prison teach you about how life can be? Not about the dogs, because we'll get to that in a minute, but how just life in general, when you get out, what did it teach you about how life could be?
Well, number one, in the program, I started learning how to be responsible. Number one, learning how to be responsible. Even before a dog came into my care, you were responsible for yourself. And really trying to figure out who I was through that program. Was I who I thought I saw in other people? Was I that leader? Was I somebody who somebody could trust? Because the Nicci who went into prison, nobody trusted, not even myself. I didn't know who I was. Therefore, how could you trust me if I didn't know who I was? And so I found my identity through that program, that number one, I'm a child of God, and number two, that I am somebody who can be relied on and doesn't waver in my foundation, that can be trusted to know that I'm going to speak the truth no matter what, sometimes a little too harshly, and I'm working on that. Some people do need a little bit of a buffer, but it showed me that through hard work and perseverance that you are not your past. You can overcome it, and your circumstances do not define you.
Wow, that's amazing. So tell us, how long have you been out of prison and what you're doing now with your life?
I've been out of prison a little over 2 years now. My 2 year anniversary was just on January 31st, and it seems like it keeps going faster and faster now. First 6 months are probably the hardest. When I first got out of prison, TDCJ literally just dumps you out. And so I had an old charge that I had to go take care of. I got time served for it because I'd been locked up for so long. But I literally didn't even get a gate check when I got out. So I got out with the whites that were on my back and my personal belongings. And they dumped me out way over in Odessa. And so it was a little scary to think this was how my new life was going to start out. But God works in mysterious ways, and I ended up in Wichita Falls with my mom at first. Was on the ankle monitor, and something I've always loved to do, which is post on social media and watch videos and come up with kind of creative stuff. Well, the Friends of Paws in Prison Board offered me to do that for them, and being the first um, program graduate and felon ever hired by them, I have taken great pride in it. So now I am the social media manager for Friends of Paws in Prison, which I absolutely adore. It lets me showcase the what the prison is on the inside with the dogs, and now that we're having some more content, I'm getting to show what the dogs are like outside too, which has gotten to be a lot of fun. The more content I get, the seems like the happier I get. So, and then also I'm a professional dog trainer and admin assistant for Canine Country Club.
That's amazing. So, what is your big, audacious goal for your life?
To never go backwards. And I know that's probably a goal that people are like, well, that's easy. Well, the cycle's vicious. And I want to be a beacon for those that'll come later that you can overcome a lot. You can overcome whatever you set your mind to and not let your circumstances weigh you down. And the first step is obviously believing in yourself because through an addict's eyes, they don't. Addiction is so evil and so mean and so vicious that you lose your identity. So my goals are obviously to keep doing what I'm doing. I would, love to get bigger and better at my social media stuff. It is a vast and very detailed area. I know now why people go and get master's degree in graphic design and everything because it's just crazy. And then just to keep teaching, keep learning. I enjoy so much volunteering and going back into the prison every week. Getting to mentor the girls from the outside, getting to teach them more training techniques, and then on my side of it too, for the social media aspect of it, getting to know the dogs that I'm making these posts about, getting to really truly build who they are to hopefully promote them to get their forever homes.
Excellent. So, when you see yourself now, do you see that person? Because you talked earlier about, like, I want to feel that leadership role. I want to be like, I want what they have, whatever they're doing. I want, do you feel like you have now come full circle and you see yourself as that person when you go in and mentor these other ladies?
Oh, I think so. I'm not going to tell you I never have bad days still because I do, and the devil tries to get you to see that are you really that person? That question mark comes in the back of your head. Then I have to fight back. But I truly do think that the full circle has happened, being able to go back in and mentor to these girls, to see them light up when we come through the doors, to hang around afterward and them pull you over and want to talk to you. And it's about dog training, it's about grooming, it's about life beyond the bars. It's truly amazing, and to be able to see the girls who have come after and are doing good, either training dogs or working as barbers, but still coming back to help with the program, or just sending in treats because they remember how important treats are, right? So just helping in some way stay connected with the program. driving 4 hours to go walk a dog for our furlough days. We have one that does that now, and that's what she can give back. So a program that didn't mean anything, women would not continue to help. And this Paws in Prison program, I don't know if I'd be here today without it. I don't know if I'd be the person who could sit in front and smile at herself. And I don't know if I'd still see the same person in the mirror, because she's been kind of hard to find. So,
Wow, that's very powerful. So, anything else you want us to know about you or Paws in Prison? You've said a lot. It's been amazing, but just in case.
if anybody's watching this and they don't know who Paws in Prison and Friends of Paws in Prison are, I encourage you to find out. Whether you are a volunteer, whether you just want to watch more testimonials to see what it can do, whether you have a donation you want to help us out with, whether you want to go come and walk a dog with us for our Beyond the Bar Paws Day Pass days. It's a program that does so much more than just take shelter dogs and give them obedience. It saves people. It saves women who have gone through the hardest things in life, and it brings them out and shines them up and allows them their life back. It's just an amazing program that I don't know, if it didn't exist, how many people would be lost without it.
Well, thank you so much. And just to echo what Nicci said, pawsinprison.com. If you want to help in any way, we are 501c, so your donations are tax deductible. And you can donate food, you can donate treats, you can donate time, or you can just sign up for our newsletter. And once a month, we'll drop you a note and let you know what's going on, and you'll get to hear amazing stories like Nicci just told us. So, Nicci, thank you so much for your time, and thanks everybody for
Diane,
listening.
thank you.
Oh, this is God's plan. This is God's plan.